Hi, hello, my name's Ollie Bliss and this is my channel Book Draw. For those who don't know, I enjoy looking at queer fiction and occasionally I make images out of the books which I am reviewing. Today I am doing a TBR. TBR means to be read, and I am contributing or participating in the Queer Lit Read Readathon. You can follow that through the hashtag QueerLitReads. And it's been organised by Kathy and Rogan, and I will add links to their channels down below. I was really pleased to just discover it. I discovered it through a small booktubers group, which I think is organised through Jay Archer, and Kathy had just put that she was doing this, so I was really excited to find someone new who was interested in queer literature. And I didn't know either of their channels, so I was just like, yes, I'm taking part in that. I have got a selection of books. I don't know whether or not I will actually manage to read all of these books, but they are creating a game of bingo, and the idea is that you strategically think about how to maximise your bingo game by strategically thinking about which books you will choose. So I have chosen, I think, 7, we can count up at the end, or 8 maybe, in terms of books which I want to focus on during that week. I think it's happening between the 10th and the 16th of 10th and 16th of June, but basically I'm going to be doing it all month because I work and there's no way I'm going to achieve a month's worth of reading in a week, so I'm just giving myself longer, but I just think it's a great idea and I hope other people take part. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'll probably do little shout outs about it on there. They are also doing a group reading for The Brightsiders, which is by Wilde, and that is one of the kind of bingo markers, so you'd already be winning if you're doing that. So I have got myself the audiobook of that one, so I'll be doing that. But anyway, I will go into the other books, starting with Let's Talk About Love by Kann. Now, Perpetualpages, they did a brilliant review on Let's Talk About Love. You should definitely check out their channel. All of the stuff that they do, I just love. But the review in particular really highlighted things and educated me in terms of thinking about people who are asexual, and I didn't really feel informed, so I'm looking forward to actually learning what it really means, or getting that point of view, because it's I think it's an own voice narrative, but also being a first person narrative, I think it will give me some insight. But I know also Chris Vigilante has read it because he's done a review as well, so you also check out his, because you'll see a different stance, and both of the reviews are cracking. And also Kathy, I know, who has organised this with Rogan, she is going to be reading this, so it's all about taking part, isn't it? So definitely up for being on that bandwagon. I also know it's been kind of hyped within the queer community of readers through BookTube. I think a lot of us have either read it or know about it and intend to read it. So, and I mean, ace visibility just isn't massively visible, so this will be my first ace reading as well. The next one I'm going to talk about is Paying Guests, because I'm doing a buddy read with Lauren in the Books, which I'm doing at the beginning of the month or end of this month, because I'm recording this in May. But I have a couple of Sarah Walters books. I've never actually bothered to read any of them though. I've watched a couple of her different mini-series for the previous books, Tip in the Velvet and Fingersmith, which I both loved, but never actually read her, so it's about time that I got on and did it. I also am going to be reading the Song of Achilles, which is by Madeline Miller. This has literally been on my bedside table for about 3 months. I keep on looking at it, keep on being tempted by it. People keep on talking about it, and because Circe is out now, I feel like I'm massively behind, because that's like her latest story, but it's separate to this story. I know that it's going to be beautiful. Again, Perpetualpages has talked about this they did the first chapter of different books, and it just really pretty starting point to the story, and I got the sense that on a literary level the prose will be quite stunning. So I've been game for this one. I haven't got round to it, and I really don't know what is preventing me from doing this. So this is kind of high priority for me too. The next one is a book which I haven't actually brought yet, but it's something that I'm very excited for. It's the Raven Stratagem, which is by Yoon, and it actually was nominated for a Novella Award. I have read the Nine Fox Gambit, which I absolutely loved. I'll add a link down below to that video where I talk about it, but it is fantastic. The world building is quite complex and tricky, so I'm hoping that the second book will be easier to get into because I've kind of learned from the first one. On Yoon Lee's website, which I've also had a link to, gives the cheat sheets of the different fraction systems. That massively helps give an understanding to the book. In the story for Nine Fox Gambit, the lead character is taking on the ghost of another male voice, and it's the combination of their two identities and how they influence each other is a major part of the narrative, and more so in the second story. So where that kind of situates on this bingo, I'm not too sure, but it's brilliant, and it's also sci-fi fantasy, so that kind of hits on those bingo card blocks. The next one I'm also doing is At the Lake by Geoff Laughton, I think you say his name. So this is about two boys who meet at summer camp. There is an accident, and one of them ends up impairing their hearing. Next summer that they come back together, their life situations have changed slightly, but that doesn't stop them from forming a fond friendship. So I'm looking forward just to a little bit of fluffy romance with that one, and just see where that takes me. And that hits on a lead character who is disabled. So I'm doing quite well on the whole, I think, of these books. I have also got, where is it gone? Oh, it's under my lap. The Queer Graphic History. I think this one won't take me too long to read, and so it just means that during that week I will have felt like I've achieved some more of the reads, but this one hits on a graphic novel, but it's also historic, and I think it will give me some new insights to a bit of our history, and I think it's one of those ones that people really should read because it's nice and light, and it just introduces you to our history and heritage. And I know George Lesser has done a review on this one as well, so I add a link to that as well. Have I got any more? No, that's it, isn't it? So those are my selections of books which I'm using for my TBR. If you want to take part, just use the hashtag, because then you'll be able to take part and talk to other people, getting involved. It's a really nice way to connect with people. If there are any books out of my TBR that you want to read alongside with me, feel free to either get in touch with me on Instagram or Twitter. We might do a little Voxer together. Voxer is a great way of reading along because you can do it at your own speed and you can listen back on messages, and it's just cool. So if you want to do that, I would be very up for it. Otherwise, if there are other books that you're doing, let me know which ones you're choosing. I'd be really interested to hear. Anyway, this is probably enough from me for this TBR, and I will see you again soon. Okay, bye!